Andy?
What is berkelium or Berkeley?
Yes.
Eponymous 1200?
Answer? The other daily double.
3,000, please.
3 it is. This element is named for a Polish-born scientist and her husband.
What's curium?
Curium, yes.
Thank you for being here, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me. Very excited.
We're very excited. This is our game show special, so this is perfect to have. We had to have you here. But let me give a statement to open up with, and I would like you to answer in the form of a question.
Okay.
This 4-time Jeopardy champion is also a comedian, writer, podcaster, comedy festival producer, swimmer, and went to high school with Andrew W.K.
Who is Andy Wood?
Yeah. How hard did you guys party?
You know what? It's funny. He's 2 years younger than I am, and I just remember him as the quiet kid on the water polo team. I never even knew he played music. We weren't like tight. We were on the swim team and water polo team together, but our parents were friends. I mean, we weren't not friends. And in fact, I saw him on the tour for I Get Wet, and I waited by his bus to say hi afterwards. And he invited me on. He was like so excited to see me because he remembered that I was the only upperclassman on the swim team who was nice to him. So that pays off, kids. Even if you're only being nice so that you can get on a tour bus.
That is the perfect answer to what anyone who parties hard would be like back in the day. Water polo team member.
Water polo team member. Quiet. So I could just picture him sort of like sullen and withdrawn after practice, just like in the shower, not talking to anybody.
That is is this true? I got some inside scoop. Did your dad also then go to high school with Iggy Pop?
And Bob Seger. It's very strange. Ann Arbor has some, yeah. Well, my dad beat Iggy for student council president in 8th grade. Iggy was vice president. And that same year he went to some dance with my mom and she got a corsage from Iggy Pop. So.
Oh my goodness. Did you hear that, Obamas and Georges? We are in the presence of royalty here. Hey, you got into Jeopardy, a 4-time champion. And I want to talk about the journey of what it takes to just get in the door and then being the 4-time champion. Just tell us to start. How do you even get on Jeopardy?
Well, it's become a lot easier in the last year. They've stopped having timed tests that used to be, I think, quarterly. And now you can just go straight to the website, take the online test right now if you want to.
Really?
So, yeah. And I did that before COVID. And then the rounds that happened after that would have been in person, they just did it all over Zoom. So if you're good, I don't know if their criteria is solely based on percentage right, but you can go online right now. And if you do well in that first test, you'll probably get a call back to do another interview, another 50 question test. That's like a live video thing. And then a third round where you do some mock gameplay, but it's all virtual now. Yeah.
Wow. So it's all virtual. Tell me about being on this game show. I mean, for how long did you want to be a Jeopardy contestant?
37, really since before Alex hosted Jeopardy. My first tape I ever owned was Weird Al in 3D. And of course I Lost on Jeopardy on it. As a 7-year-old, I knew every word of every song on that album. And when Jeopardy started up that same year with Alex, it's like 84, I always wondered why in the song he says Art Fleming gave the answers and I couldn't get the questions right. Because that song is about the pre-Trebek era. So like my Jeopardy awareness goes from before Alex even started.
That's incredible because I didn't know there was an Art Fleming. History has erased the Art Fleming.
It's a long run. Yeah.
Deep roots into wanting to be on this game show. So you get on in the most bizarre of circumstances during a pandemic. How did that feel, or did they let you know it was different?
I mean, it was very strange. First of all, when I did by the way, I skipped over the fact that also in 93, I tried out for the teen tournament and didn't make it past the first round. So then I gave up for 20 years or so, or 27 years.
So this is the big comeback.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I took the tests last summer and it was just really fun to get to even just have this face-to-face with I think it was Sarah Whitcomb-Foss from the Clue Crew did the interview. And I was like, well, this is a fun little thrill. I'm sure I'm not going to get on because I'm sure they're not going to be taping. Like the 1-2 punch of like COVID and Alex's health. I was like, there's no way they're going to have a season this fall. And then I just got a call in August asking if I could be there in 3 weeks. And I was in complete disbelief and was preparing myself for the fact that I was probably going to lose. And I was making myself be okay with that because I was just excited to get to be on with Alex. And then just the stars aligned. But yeah, the actual taping was funny COVID wise because yeah, you had to do lots of different things from the normal stuff. Like instead of using the green room at the Jeopardy stage, our green room was the full audience stage at Wheel of Fortune, like 200 yards away.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're sitting there getting prepped by one of the producers, sitting 10 feet apart from all the other contestants, overlooking a tarped over Wheel of Fortune in front of us. And then when it came time to actually get on, as they do a full week in one day, so 5 episodes in a day. So there are 10 contestants, 10 new contestants, and then the one champion. So they add 2 new to every game. And then as they call you up, you go down next to the wheel, and a guy in like a hazmat suit does the makeup. Sorry, go ahead, sir.
Oh, no. I mean, well, I was just about to interrupt, and then you said guy in hazmat suit does makeup. And that's insane. That seems like out of a Simpsons episode. But this blows my mind. You're opening the curtain. We're seeing the wizard there. You're telling me that they do 5 in a day, meaning everything you did on that show, same day.
Same day. It was all September 9th. Yeah.
Holy moly. Andy, that is how intense was that? Were you exhausted?
I was so exhausted. By the 5th game that I lost, I was kind of okay with losing because I was like, I just kind of want to go home.
It's like being in a poker game, right? And you've won a ton of money, and so you give a little back and you go, I just got to go to bed. I can't be on this bender for a 5th day. Like, I got to go home. I mean, do you think then there was a chance if you had a little breathing room or got through the 5th one, do you know even how far you could go?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say no one can do 5 in one day because people have, but I looked on the subreddit of Jeopardy fans afterwards, and people were cheering me on, but also saying like, oh man, it's hard to run a full tape day. Like even the fans on Reddit know about this, and I guess it's pretty rare to start. Wow. You get picked randomly for each of the games, and I was just hoping not to get drawn for the first game because I wanted to just watch one of them.
Oh, yeah.
So I get the Monday poll, and I'm like, well, I'm going to lose this, and then there's no audience because of COVID. So they ask all 10 of us to stay. If they can't force you, but they're like, even if you just lost, will you please stay in the audience just to have, because Alex doesn't like, no one likes it when there's no audience. So I was like, I'm going to lose the first game and have to watch the rest of them from the stands. But it didn't happen that way. So
unbelievable. Wow. Wow. That is really, aside from the hazmat suit guy, that's weird inside baseball stuff, because is the guy you lost to in the Tuesday game going, is he trying to hex you? Is there a little spite in the audience?
Well, that's the thing, is like, I don't know why they would think it'd be a particularly hot crowd, because you're going to have people who are nervous about the game they're about to play or who have just lost, So it's like, it's barely an audience. But Alex did mention during one of the commercial breaks, he said to the contestants, like, this is usually a little bit different and higher energy when there are people here. Like, no, this is still great. You don't have to apologize for what this is.
Wow.
But it was strange. Yeah.
Now I was going to ask what I assumed you were, I didn't know. I've not been on the subreddit. I haven't done the deep dive. I was going to ask how, I figured after 4 days, Trebek and you guys are having a scotch before the show, but it's all moving. I mean, you really have got to be like at least a 7-8 time champ or like a 12 to get in that like scotch with Alex. And I don't know if the man drinks scotch. That this is in my head he does. How as the game moves on and he clearly is aware, wow, this guy's won 4 times is a more rare event. What's your vibe with Trebek?
Like you said, it never gets super chummy. Also, just because they have to be impartial because of the quiz show scandal back in the day. So he could, he doesn't want to play favorites, or maybe this is just my excuse for why I'm like, why did Alex and I not become besties?
Why were you not besties? Yeah. Quiz show.
But there was, I think on my 4th game or 5th, maybe he did in the introduction describe me as formidable or I don't know, a good player. And I was like, that's.
Oh man, I would get that tattooed. Formidable Alex Trebek quote about me on my bicep.
That was pretty surreal. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, I've said this before, but he was just so amazing because in those 5 tapings, which all took place in less than 5 hours, he missed, I think he only retook one question, one clue, which was just because he was rewriting it on the fly, but he was just such a pro. He just nailed everything.
A big day for our returning champion, Andy Wood.
It was amazing to watch.
Unbelievable. Now, you didn't get therefore with COVID, you didn't get the handshake, and is he having to sort of yell at like, great job, Andy?
Well, they come over in the interview where he'd usually be sort of like, elbow on your podium talking to you. He was probably, 6 to 10 feet away. But the funniest thing is everyone gets a portrait with Alex, And in Days Gone By, you're next to him. And in this, I have a framed bunch of panoramics on my wall that are all like landscapes. I'm gonna print out this one of me and Alex 20 feet apart and add that to the panoramic wall, because it's just the funniest. He's at the podium, there's the Jeopardy screen, and you're over here, literally 20 feet apart, and you don't know what pose you're supposed to do. Like, this is my picture with Alex. And also, I had worn like kind of crappy pants because I thought they would never be seen. I just had some.
Yeah, sure.
They didn't really match the jacket, so like, and my pockets are full of a giant phone, and it's a bad looking picture. Where if it had been close, you could have like cut from the waist up, and I would have my Alex picture. And
okay, I want to ask you about attire. So you don't know if you're going to win. You said you didn't think you were. Do they have you bring extra blazers and ties, or?
Xena, warrior princess. Andy.
What is Hercules?
Hercules.
yeah, everyone's told to bring 5 options in case you're there for 5 days. Wow. So I went to Nordstrom Rack and just rung up $600. I was going to return it all if I didn't use it, so I didn't cut any tags off. And I was like, well, who cares? If I have to cut the tags off, it will have meant I just won a game of Jeopardy, and I won't care about this, how much this blazer costs or whatever. So back and forth, cutting off tags, putting back to the stage.
Nordstrom Rack's like slogan is, "We know you're going to return 80% of this." So they're wow, man. I hope that they sponsor a future endeavor of yours. Okay, so you know at this point too that Alex has been sick. It's amazing that he was doing the show, continuing to do it as long as he did. How did you see that change? I mean, my God, he I don't have the exact date down, but he was only alive for a matter of literally weeks after your taping.
6 weeks after my taping.
My God.
December 9th, and I think he passed away early November. Yeah. And he didn't, if you hadn't, if obviously we all knew he was ill, but if you hadn't known that going in, I don't think you would have guessed it. Like he looked healthy and he was so sharp. Like the only time that was sort of alluded to was between 2 of the tapings or during some commercial break. One of the producers, who I think had been there for a long time, and like, I think he was kind of probably in his 60s. So there seemed like they had a rapport. And so he was having this moment that was just for them, kind of, where he was just kind of saying, Alex, you don't have to do this. Like, you can say stop at any time. And he was just kind of like, nope, we're good. Like, you could see that he's not, but then as soon as the cameras come on, it's just like total professional. I can't wrap my head around how he did that. It's yeah.
You have such a passion for game shows. You've written for game shows. You've written for 1 versus 100.
Yeah, well, that was the Xbox Live version of it, which was sort of like HQ Trivia before that existed.
Very cool. And recently, the great debate with Baron Vaughn, who's been on the program, that was on Sci-Fi. Yeah,
more of a panel show, like no real stakes there, but yes, a game format, right?
Do you aspire? I mean, you're a good-looking man. You're quick. Do you say to yourself, I could be the next Jeopardy host?
You and my parents and maybe 3 people who contacted me on Instagram think that, and nobody else. It's like, that's exactly what all my family said after my tapings.
Oh,
I'm glad you think I did well, but
we got to talk winnings. $1 shy of 92,000, and I don't know. The U.S. government takes 90,000 of it. But what did you spend the other $2,000 on?
Well, they interviewed me afterwards, and I forgot to have this kind of answer ready, which you should in the game show world. This is like, what are you going to do with your winnings? And I had no plan. And so I just said, I will buy a guitar, because I haven't treated myself to a new electric guitar in 20 years, I think.
And we were talking before we aired, but we've got what you call the beater one. That's the functional one.
Wait, hold on. Wait a second.
Oh yeah.
This is the only electric I've had since I bought it in 2001 or 2. But I've been needing to get a Les Paul in addition. I've got a bunch of acoustics, but that's not 90,000. That's 2 maybe. So right. I need bigger plans than that. I bought my friend's 1999 Forerunner off of him for $3,000. That's the biggest splurge I've done so far.
If you were gonna blow the 90 in a day, where does it go?
In a day. Oh my God.
On a day, in a thing. How does it get used?
In non-COVID times, it would definitely be a big surf trip. It would be a place. I don't even know. I'd have to sit down and look at what the most amazing surf break that I haven't been to yet would be. But yeah, I would just go for a month and just surf every day.
As we go to our champion, Andy Wood, the game was a runaway. He couldn't be caught. Did he come up with the correct response, though? He did indeed. And did he risk anything? $9.99, giving him $20,799 today, and a 2-day total of $47,799. $598. Great game. Great game. I enjoyed it. Hope you did. And we hope you did as well. We'll see you tomorrow, right, Rich?
I mean, how could you not be big into trivia? I was told from our writing staff that you once had a Patrick Swayze had just passed away, and you had a trivia team name called Nobody Puts Baby in a Coroner.
Oh, I think that's probably true. I think every week we would come up with a new name for our trivia team that was somewhat current events related. But that one, yeah, I'll stand by that. Sure, whatever.
I hope so, because it's literally the basis for the game we're going to close with.
Okay, great.
All right, so this is a trivia team name game. It's called I See What You Did There.
Okay.
That's right. I see what you did there. I'm going to give you 8 trivia team names, and you've got to tell me the celebrity that is a tribute to.
I like it.
If you can get more than half, you're going to get a pound of North Fresh Coffee Roasters fine coffee. Now, I want to say that Seth Lazier and Riley Newton are the creators of these questions. We got your former trivia team members
Nice.
to help create the game for you. Okay, here we go. I see what you did there. Number 1, get off my plane crash.
I mean, that was Harrison Ford crashing his Cessna or whatever, right? Yeah.
Into the Gulf. Well done. That was very easy. Wanted to get you going here. That's right. He crashed his
Wait,
Cessna.
Harrison Ford didn't die, right?
No, and everyone's alive. Okay. I just want to say that almost everyone's alive that these are in tribute to. It was only by the fact that was a funny name of Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. Number 2, sibling Venus envy. Sibling.
Ooh, that would be Serena Williams.
Bingo. Serena Williams, 2 for 2. Let's keep it moving. I see what you did there. Number 3, Yas Queen's Gambit.
I don't know who originated Yas Queen, but it makes me think of RuPaul. I don't know.
Oh, no. We were looking for a Queen's Gambit, Yas Queen's Gambit. We were looking for Anya Taylor-Joy,
Who is that?
Anya Taylor-Joy, the star of Queen's Gambit.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be okay. I see.
That's okay. 2 out of 3. We've got a good average so far. Here we go. Number 4. I see what you did there. Duncan on Batman.
Duncan on Batman. It just for some reason brings to mind Ben Affleck because of. Is that right?
Bingo. Yeah.
I'm not sure why. It just seemed. Is the Duncan because he's a New Englander and that's what Dunkin'
I
Donuts?
think it's because recently there were these pictures during COVID where he had this whole array of donuts and coffees, and he just looked so sullen. So that
must have permeated my skull without me being aware of it or something.
exactly a little meme. The meme permeated, but you just didn't see it. 3 out of 4, very good. Let's go to the back end here. Number 5. I see what you did there. Sit down to VP.
Sit down to VP. That would be the female star of Veep, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Well, you know what? We'll take it. We would have also accepted Kamala Harris, who would be the first.
I'm sorry. We have an actual female vice president now. Yes.
Yeah. No, but we're going to take it. We're going to take it. That's a good. We like that you had every time you can have a good alternative answer. We like it.
But isn't that crazy how, I mean, maybe it's just showing that it's not on my mind, but like what a crazy year it's been that the fact that we now have a female vice president is like the 20th most interesting thing to have happened in the last year.
On a year like this, indeed, that is completely acceptable. Okay, you only got to get one more to win the coffee out of the next 3. So I believe in you, but I will admit these do get a little bit harder. Ready?
Okay.
No,
yes.
Number 6, I see what you did there. One Pit Wonder.
One Pit Wonder. Okay, I mean, do I have time to talk it out, or is there a ticking?
Oh, you have all the time in the world.
One Pit Wonder. I mean, I think of this is not my answer. Pitt. I mean, Brad Pitt, but that's not my answer. So, is it someone who dated him briefly, or is it One Pit Wonder? One Pit, a Pit. Angelina Jolie. I don't know.
Bingo. It is. I would show it to you, but all the other answers are right below it. Angelina Jolie, you've gotten yourself a bag of coffee, but you're competing against our audience on Twitch tonight, and they want to see if they can best a 4-time Jeopardy champion. So let's see if you can close strong. We're going to give you the 7th and 8th one here. Number 7, I see what you did there. Torn Star.
Torn Star. Torn Star. Torn Star. Give me a second.
Talk it out. Talk it out.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's not Rip Torn, but I wish it were.
I wish it would work too. It is not Rip Torn, but any mention of Rip Torn, at least a half a bonus point.
By the way, I can never keep Rip Torn and Rip Taylor straight because Rip Taylor throws torn up paper. So he should be called Rip Torn, right? The confetti is torn up. Anyway.
Wow.
It's not Rip Taylor, right?
No, it's not Rip Taylor. It's not Rip Torn, although both are great mentions.
Torn Star. Torn
Star.
Torn. Who has been, Natalie Imbruglia.
It is Natalie Imbruglia. And I thought that one was so impossible. When Seth relayed it, I gave it over to Dax, and I go, Torn Star, and Dax goes, Natalie Imbruglia. And I was like, how? That's like 20 years ago.
It was 97, I believe. She was
25 years ago.
Biggest crush of late 90s MTV vixens behind the lead singer of the Cardigans, I think. So I've seen that video way too many times.
I'm all out of place. I'm already torn. Bloody-dee-dee. I watched that music video today, and I was like, what's even happening right here?
By the way, watch that video, then listen to Kanye West's, or Kanye, your Kanye's, Runaway. I swear, Runaway and Torn are like, I made a mashup of them.
Whoa, I'm hearing the piano in Runaway.
Yeah.
There's a melodic, like a tempo melodic match.
I could send you my mashup if you want to hear it. Yeah.
Please send it over. We'll put it on right now.
Okay.
That's the best part about doing these things from home. Okay, 6 out of 7. You've already won the coffee. Let's see if you can close with our highest score of all time in a game we've never played before. Here is, I see what you did there, number 8, a screech around.
Oh man, so one of these is timely. Dustin Diamond. Yeah.
R.I.P. to the god. That's why when you said, oh my god, are they all dead? And I had to look down the list like, I don't think, I see what we did there. Well done. 7 out of 8. Coffee coming your way. Thank you so much for being here. We could talk Jeopardy all day. It is fascinating.
You might also see me on a future Tournament of Champions. We'll see.
Oh my god, is that... Oh, we'll just leave that cliffhanger there. We're just going to leave that there. We're just going to leave that there. I hit the fireplace. Andy Wood, everybody. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Aaron.
Good night, amigo.
Bye.
Run away fast as you can.